You mentioned Ryan Reynolds there. You
Mm,
and that's a good bit of news because we spoke about this earlier today, or we've at least shared it with each other, or
mm.
you shared it with me, which was his Aviation Gin company sold to
Yeah.
a British firm.
To
Um,
Diageo, I think it
yeah,
was,
that's
wasn't it?
it.
Which
Yeah,
is a
yeah, it's
huge
Diageo,
sort of alcohol
yeah,
company. It's
yeah.
incredible, isn't it?
And you kindly, along with our colleagues, purchased me a bottle of Aviation Gin for my birthday this year,
The key
which
question is, have you drunk any
I
of it yet?
still haven't tried it yet.
Brilliant.
I took it round a friend's house recently for a lads' night, and we moved on to whiskey after beers and things like that. And then the night came to an end, and we hadn't cracked it open. So maybe for next time. I feel like I've got to be in the right frame of mind because I usually start with beers and I'll end up on spirits. So it's not one that I'd just go, oh, I'm gonna just have a cheeky gin and tonic or whatever.
I do find gin quite it's not something I reach for that often. It's sort of my wife has been through a phase of trying
Yeah.
different sort of flavored gins and things like that, and getting into those.
Do you ever
But
try?
I really don't get on with the taste of gin. And there's just something about it that just doesn't sit well with me.
Well,
Um,
do you remember when and this is going back probably 2 or 3 years now, maybe even a bit longer, in Norwich where we're based, they opened up a bar called the Gin Palace,
mm,
and I took friends there, hadn't even tried gin before, but because of all the flavors, I think at the time I was really into kind of flavored ciders and things like that. So you get all the fruit ciders and things like
yeah,
that. And to me, with the menu for all these different flavored gins and things like that, and the tonic to go with it, it seemed like a match made in heaven. I thought, well, there's all these different fruity flavors and twists on it. I'm gonna love it. I remember
mm,
getting that first glass. It cost me an absolute
yeah,
fortune.
really
Tried it,
expensive.
and it was like paint stripper. And
Yeah,
that's no offense to the bar, but it just didn't agree with me.
yeah.
I have since tried some, and this is why I kind of was happy when you bought me my gin. I have since tried some, but had it with lemonade, and
Right.
it's so much better. The tonic is too bitter for me. There's just something about it
You can
where
probably taste the gin too much, to be
yeah, well
honest,
that's
is what
it.
it
And the
is, isn't it?
lemonade just takes it, and it is really nice. Like there's from friends of mine who do like it, they tell me there's certain ones that are better than others, obviously. But
Yeah.
yeah, interesting. But $365 million, wasn't it? Something like that.
No, in total, I just found the article. In total, it was 610 million US dollars. The company will have an upfront payment of
Right,
335 million.
right. That's probably what I
Um,
saw.
and then I'm
Don't
guessing
take
they
my word from it.
they get
Don't.
the rest. Oh yeah, there you go. A potential that I think the rest of it is being paid based on the brand's performance over the
Mm,
next sort of couple of years or so. But it's incredible. But it appears, reading it in the article, it appears that he bought the company.
yeah,
Because yeah, he said a little over 2 years ago, I became the owner of Aviation Gin because I loved the taste of aviation more than any other spirit.
yeah. Well,
And that's
but
quite a
that's the thing.
payday, isn't it?
He done so much
Yeah,
advertising for it, like hilarious as well. I mean,
yeah.
we were sharing them around the office. I
Mm.
remember because they were, just tickled you every time. Like they
Yeah,
were really tongue
they
in
were
cheek, and
fantastic.
it was almost like a bit of a joke as well
Yeah.
against it. But it was,
Which I guess is what they've got to ensure, isn't it? They can't just
yeah,
sell it and then he's out the picture because then who's gonna
yeah.
advertise it, isn't it? It's so much part of him.
But isn't it interesting? Just thinking back to earlier episodes that we done, we talked about one where wasn't it Slipknot had
Mm.
purchased
And
a
a
rum
whiskey,
or a
I think,
whiskey.
or
That's it,
something.
yeah.
Yeah,
And then you've got The Rock. He's got Dwayne Johnson. He's got his
yeah,
own tequila that he's
yeah,
and alcohol does seem to be a an area that a lot of celebrities are
yeah.
investing in now.
Jay-Z and Beyonce only champagne. Can't remember what that's called. And Puffy or Diddy, whatever he calls himself now, is Ciroc. Is that
Oh yeah, syrup. Yeah, yeah. I've heard
vodka?
of
Is that maybe I can't
that.
remember, but it's something
I'm
like
not
that.
a
I'm sure.
vodka drinker, but
But
yeah, I think
on the article, apparently, sort of recently, oh no, a few years ago, Diageo also acquired a company part owned by George Clooney, which was tequila. company, and that
That's it. Yeah, I
sold
read that. Yeah.
for 700 million.
Mm,
So clearly, yeah, as you said, there's a business in it, but in a weird way, it goes back to that and the Garfield thing. That was an email account. She thought, wow, I really love Garfield, but do you love a drink because it's endorsed by someone else? Or an
mm,
Aviation Gin was great because of the adverts, and I guess it just sparks that curiosity, doesn't it? Oh, I wonder what that tastes like. That's
mm. And yeah, but you see that across all different things, don't you? Like with aftershaves and perfumes that are we mentioned
Well,
Beckham
yeah, I
before.
guess so.
You buy that because David Beckham's got it, or Beyonce, another one, she's got her own, and all
Yeah,
these celebrities, they'll go into that kind of
mm,
if it's their own brand,
yeah,
then I mean they're not at home making it. Do you know what I mean? That's the kind of thing that baffles people.
yeah.
They've endorsed it essentially,
That's the
and just to
weird
add to
crossover, isn't it?
their portfolio of things, I guess.
I remember years and years ago. I can't remember exactly when it was, but do you remember vitamin water? Um, I don't know, Glacial. I think it was a Coca-Cola own, or no, Coca-Cola bought it. It looked like juice in sort of brightly coloured bottles, and each one had different vitamin
Right.
content or whatever. Apparently,
Rings a bell.
full of sugar though, so it weren't good for you. But now marketing it is good for you. 50 Cent did adverts for that when he was in his prime, probably 10 or so years ago. Um, and when he did the adverts, he said to them, well, I want don't pay me. I think this is correct as a story. Don't pay me, just give me shares in the business. And it was quite an early business at the time. Um, and then Coca-Cola bought the business because it was really successful, and the company sold for 4.1 billion. And I
God.
think he got something like half a billion, or is that like 500 million, whatever,
Yeah.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it shows you the
How
power
much?
of
Yeah.
that. Well,
Yeah.
and from that point of view, he's clever business,
But
sort
that's
of
it. I mean,
fine.
if you're of high profile, you're immediately
Mm,
opening up a particular product um, to a whole following of
yeah,
that
millions and
particular
millions of
person. Yeah,
people.
yeah. So they'll go and try it just because they're a fan of him or her,
Yeah,
and then slowly the sale numbers go up, and then it becomes more of a big investment for other firms to pick up, I guess.
yeah,
Big
exactly.
money, big money.
Very big money. So when this week in Metropolis, don't know, what could we do?
We like our owls at the moment, don't we?
We do, yeah, nice
Our
craft ale
IPAs.
would be
Yeah,
nice.
craft. Yeah, this week in Metropolis, craft ale. It could just be called Metropolis.
Or we could just aim for a lower market and do 5 litre bottles of cider with this week in Metropolis on. Yeah,
Mate, we're
one
open
pound
to any
fifty.
options. Yeah, if there are any
Brewers or
brewers
someone out
listening,
there,
yeah, we're ready. We can do the
anything,
artwork. We've
anything.
got all that covered. Yeah.
Panda pops.
Speaking of us being available, Matt, for opportunities, something that we should mention is
Yes,
the Out of the Blank podcast, which
definitely.
I featured on. I was actually on the show, I think it was a week ago now, just over a week ago, and it went live on their channel yesterday, last night. So if you get a chance, check that out. They've got a really good thing going, and you're going to be making an appearance on it
Yeah.
over the coming days.
Indeed, I watched your episode earlier. It's a great watch slash listen,
Mm.
however you want to do it. And I think it's a nice opportunity to get to know us as individuals, I guess, isn't it? Rather
Yeah,
than
definitely.
in this sort of format. But yeah, really, really
And hopefully
good.
we're going to get on together as well at some point. So
Yeah,
keep an eye out for that. We have shared it on our Instagram page. So
check it out.
if you do want to check it out, yeah, I'm on that one.
Yeah.
Um, as Matt said, this is the season finale, and next series, which will be in a couple of weeks, we'll start back up again. We're hoping to get a few different guests on
Mm.
ourselves. So
We've already got quite a lot of interest of
mm,
people knocking on the door to join us, which is fantastic because I think it does really add an extra dimension to what we do.
yeah.
So yeah,
So keep an eye out for that as well.
definitely. Well, that is it then for
It is
episode
it.
10.
It is it. That is the end. Keep an eye out over the 2 weeks when we're having this
Yes.
short break, because, well, even within the next couple of days, there is some quite big news coming from our front.
Mm.
So keep an eye out on social media for that. But yeah, you can find us at the This Week in Metropolis website. So just search for thisweekinmetropolis.com and you'll find us there with links to all our social media pages and to our anchor site, which will then lead you on to the different platforms that we're on: Spotify, Apple, Google. We're on them all.
And please do, if you do enjoy what we do and sort of listen on any of the platforms, do please, follow or give us a like. Let us know your name. And by all means, any comments are very, very welcome. We have a lot of fun reading those and sharing those too.
Yeah, definitely. But thanks for listening. Thanks for being part of our journey, and we will speak to you in a couple of weeks.
Goodbye.